Picture the moment a job offer finally lands. The email says the number. You feel that wave of relief, and you type back 2 words, "I accept." Done. Here's the part nobody tells you. That number you accepted without a fight might be the most expensive silence of your career. Because your salary doesn't just pay you this year. It's the seed every future raise grows from. Every bump, every offer at your next job, all calculated off a starting number someone else picked for you. Let them pick low, and you lose that gap again every single year for decades. By one common estimate, that quiet "I accept" can cost you around $377,000 over a career. And that's the conservative version. The good news? Fixing it doesn't take being aggressive or confrontational. It just takes understanding the mechanics. So let's break salary negotiation into 5 simple moves anyone can use. Move number 1. Know the band before you talk. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They treat a salary offer as a single fixed number. Take it or leave it. But for any given role, pay isn't a point. It's a range, a band. Picture a horizontal bar. On the low end sits the 25th percentile, let's say, as an illustrative example, around $70,000. In the middle, the median around $85,000. And at the 75th percentile, around $100,000. Same job, same title, a $30,000 spread. Those are just example numbers to show the shape. The real point, an offer, is 1 point inside that band. And employers don't, as a rule, start you at the top. So research your market rate isn't vague advice. It's finding where the band sits for your role and city, using the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Glassdoor, actual job postings, before you ever talk numbers. Now you're anchored on data, not on what feels polite. And here's leverage most people don't know they have. Salary history bands are now active statewide in more than 20 states, including California, New York, Colorado, Illinois, Massachusetts, and Washington. There, an employer legally cannot ask what you made before. So you pivot. I'm focused on the market rate for this role, which my research puts in this range. And in Illinois, since January 1st, 2025, employers even have to post the pay range right in the listing. The band is being handed to you. Move number 2, let your data anchor high. Now that you know the band, here's why the first number on the table matters far more than the back and forth that follows. It's a principle called anchoring, and the research is rock solid, out of the program on negotiation at Harvard Law School and Columbia Business School. The finding: whatever number gets named first acts like an anchor, quietly dragging the final settlement toward it. Picture 2 negotiations on a number line. In the first, you let the employer drop the opening number, low. Everything after is a tug of war from their low anchor, and the final deal lands close to it. In the second, you open with a strong research number near the top of that band. The whole conversation pulls your way, and the deal settles higher. Same job, same you. The only difference is who set the anchor. That's why your homework from Move 1 pays off. The anchor isn't a bluff. It's a number you can defend. But here's the crucial caveat. Your anchor has to be informed by that market range. This isn't a license to throw out a wild fantasy number. An anchor that's absurdly off can backfire, make you look out of touch, and sour the whole conversation. The power isn't in being greedy. It's in being grounded and aiming high within reality. This is research, not a guarantee. Move number 3. Don't be the one to name the first number, especially a low one. Here's the trap. Often early, you'll hear the classic question, "So, what are your salary expectations?" And the polite, eager-to-please instinct is to blurt out a number, usually a safe, modest one. That single number quietly becomes your own ceiling. If you name 80,000, no employer is going to say, "Actually, we were prepared to offer 95. You capped yourself and handed them the anchor for free. Picture a decision tree off that question. Path A, deflect. I'd love to hear the range you've budgeted for this role. Path B, give a researched range, grounded in the band from Move 1. Path C, blurt one low number and the ceiling slams down. Paths A and B keep your ceiling open. Path C closes it, and the room is already there. 73% of employers say they'd negotiate salary on an initial offer, and 52% admit they initially offer less than they're willing to pay, leaving deliberate room to push. And yet 55% of workers don't negotiate at all. They just say yes. Yet of those who do ask, somewhere between 78 and 85% get a better offer, depending on the survey. The risk most people fear, the offer getting yanked for daring to ask, almost never happens. The far bigger risk is never asking at all. Move number 4, negotiate the whole package. Here's where a lot of negotiations dead end. You push on base salary, the employer says, "That's the top of our band, our hands are tied," and people give up. But the offer was never just the base. The offer is a package, and base pay is only one lever on it. Picture a stacked bar, each block a lever you can pull. The sign-on bonus, often the easiest yes, because it's a one-time cost, not a permanent raise. Equity or stock, RSUs, which can dwarf base over time at the right company. The 401k match. Extra PTO, remote or flexible work. A better title, which compounds at your next job. Your start date. And the timing of your first performance review. Pull it forward to 6 months and your next raise comes sooner. So when base is genuinely capped, you don't walk away empty. You pivot. I understand the base is fixed. Can we look at a sign-on bonus? Or moving my first review up to 6 months. Now you're winning value the salary line couldn't touch. And a higher base pays you twice. Beyond the cash today, it also raises the value of your employer's 401k match. Since that match is usually a percentage of your salary, something we dug into in video 009. Move number 5, the one that turns a few awkward minutes into a 6-figure decision. Understand how it compounds. Let's build that scary number from the start. Imagine 2 people, same age, starting the same career at 22. Identical, but for one thing, person A negotiated and started $5,000 higher. Person B accepted the first offer. From there, everything's the same. Both get the exact same 3% raise every year for 40 years. You might think the gap stays $5,000 forever. It doesn't, it widens every single year. Because each raise is a percentage of a bigger number, person A's 3% is always 3% of more. So the two earning curves don't run parallel. They fan apart, the space between them growing wider every year. Add up that entire widening gap over the 40 years, and it comes to roughly $377,000. In extra base pay alone. That's our own calculation, $5,000 growing at 3% a year over 40 years. No investing, no magic. Just a percentage stacking on a bigger base. And that's the conservative version. Studies that also account for investing that extra income push the figure to around $500,000 to $600,000 over a career. Some researchers, looking at larger starting gaps, estimate the lifetime cost at $1 to $1.5 million. Those are illustrative ranges, not promises. But even the floor, $377,000, should stop you cold. That's the true price of the silent "I accept." Not $5,000, but the whole widening gap for your entire working life. So let's pull it together. Your starting salary is the seed every future raise grows from, which makes the few minutes before you accept an offer the highest leverage moment in your career. 5 moves, and not one requires being aggressive. 1. Research the market band. So you anchor on data. 2. Let that data anchor high, because the first number drags the final one toward it. 3. Don't name the first low number. Deflect or give a researched range, since most employers expect you to negotiate anyway. 4. Negotiate the whole package: bonus, equity, the 401k match, title, review timing. And 5. A small bump today doesn't stay small. It compounds into 6 figures over a career. A quiet "I accept" can cost around $377,000. And that's just the floor. The fix isn't talent or nerve. It's the mechanics. This is educational only, not financial advice. But the next time an offer lands, don't let it be your most expensive silence. If this changed how you'll handle your next offer, hit subscribe. This channel is all about the money mechanics nobody ever sits you down and explains. And here's your perfect next step. You just learned how to fight for a bigger number. But the number on your offer letter is not the number that lands in your bank account. Taxes, deductions, and premiums all take a bite between what you're promised and what you take home. So watch the video on going from gross pay to net pay and finally see where every dollar of your paycheck really goes. I'll see you there.